update as I was getting ready to join the meeting.
As I complained about updates.
One random thing, maybe. Apologies for my kids screaming in the background.
Oh, we call that a Monday gift.
So I see the mission statement. Didn't we? I thought we reordered this like last Monday. Because like I thought that wasn't the mission statement after the introduction or something like that.
Yeah, you're right.
What version are we looking at here? Because
it should be the latest. Did someone go through and make changes?
yeah, there was significant changes from this because there was a Monday meeting and a Wednesday meeting both.
Did it change woman in the Thursday meeting?
No, sorry, there was a Monday meeting and a Thursday meeting. I'm sorry, but yeah, we didn't do much changes Thursday, but last Monday there were changes, and this document is not the same.
Mm-mm.
I'm going off the one in the sustainability.
Huh?
Is there another doc?
No, it should have been this one. Yeah, woman was editing it on the fly. We all saw it.
Yeah.
We have an introduction. Yeah, we had an introduction.
Yeah, because we had moved all the Paris Climate Accord stuff.
The
introduction. Top. Yeah, this is weird.
I swear that's the only one in this list here.
Do you have like a version control? Go to the previous version.
Let's see.
Yeah, there's gotta be something wrong here because I know it changed because I actually looked at it over the weekend and it was or not over the weekend, Friday, and it was the other one.
Yeah, can we go like?
Did you push to the other one after you made the changes?
No, I didn't push.
Okay. Here we go. Why is this? When did it change?
So on the discussion.
Who did this?
Okay.
Let me see what we're looking at here.
Who did this? So it's Friday, 8:40 a.m.
That's Thursday night.
That is my tag, but I have no memory of this.
Okay, we're going to this version then.
I have some edits in the version above, but
yeah, because it looks like this was the version.
Right.
And then it somehow changed here.
Yes. This is very concerning because I didn't do anything on Friday. I just looked at it and so can you revert?
I'm pressing the revert button.
I'm just gonna chime in with my edits to shorten the in-scope paragraph then that I added this morning.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do the same because I edited on the other one. All right, here we go. This still applies. I don't know how that happened. Thank you for catching that.
No problem. Well, I'm eating my coffee cake muffin from Costco. I'm ready.
Coffee cake muffin, huh? Health food of the day.
Yeah, this thing's gotta be so unhealthy. It's so good.
Okay, this good news. I can still delete. Yes.
That's good. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I like shorter. Can we delete this here? Because we're heading towards final form. Okay. We seek to provide feedback and tools. Not all activities, all should aim. Does that make sense? Wondering if we can just delete this section. I know greenwashing is a concern, but it's part, I think it's just part of our scope. We can add it to scope.
Right.
Yeah, I think that, and that's why I said readdress when had met last week. We all agreed that we would need to figure out how we wanted to approach greenwashing. So I think I'm on board for that.
I
Okay,
agree.
I'm just going to temporarily put it in scope, and then we can add or remove later. Make sense?
Mhm.
Yep.
We have it already. There, now we have link. Okay. So that's shorter and better. We have a comment on initiatives. Oh, that was on the old stuff. So resolved. And cloud native technologies. It's to pull it together more. Is that okay?
I'm fine with that.
All right. Background.
Oh, I think the background is probably we had a discussion on Thursday. That's Monday and Thursday. I think the background is the part that needs some attention.
Mhm.
This become bulky at the moment.
Okay.
And there are lots of things already covered in scope and out scope.
Well, okay. My question: can we go through this section and see if we can just delete it, or do we need a background section?
So the reason it was there, not saying we need to keep it, but the logic of why we wanted to keep it was it's not necessarily obvious, unlike security, what the goals of the tag may be, was the comment. So that's the question of whether we should keep it. I'm actually fine getting rid of it, but I'm also fine if we wanted to put a little background there so people understand where we're coming from. But that's for the discussion. You guys can
Well,
decide.
we have introduction, we have mission statement. So I'm just going back through, by the way, just to see as a
Well, I
restate.
think the
elaborate.
background was kind of the issues that are happening in the landscape, and so that's just it's kind of like, here's the state of the union, here's our mission, and I'm fine with truncating some of it, but I think we want to at least hit 1 to 3 bullets. But
Okay,
and that was one of the things Waman was sharing.
Yeah. So certain things, if you can just remove first 2 paragraphs, that should be okay. There are certain things needs to be extended anyway, in the governance doc, whatever. So in
this
this
looks like,
document,
yeah, this looks like a wish list to me. I don't think wish lists belong in here. So I would suggest we reduce to these 2 paragraphs and like choose 1 or 2 bullets from this list, according to Kara. Thoughts?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay.
I
Do
feel
I
like
want to
some of these
comment
bullet
this?
points belong into InScope, don't they?
I want to go through our in-scope because the length of our in-scope is really long. I'd like to reduce this also.
Yes.
So how about this? How about I comment this out, this section here, because they are basically a wish list. And then when we go through the in-scope and we redefine our in-scope, we make sure that everything in scope encapsulates the items in here. Does that help?
all right,
Did I
let's
address
go
that?
that way.
Okay. All right. And then let's pick a couple of things. There's quite a lot of direction. They're just different directions.
Yeah.
So I would start with these 3 make sense. This first one, I don't think is a true statement. Can I delete this one?
Yes.
Hi, Leo. We're playing
Hello.
cut it down games. So the point is to basically make sure that we've encapsulated everything in here, but still cut as much content as possible. Make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. Good afternoon. I know it's later there. All right. Do we want to reduce this from these 3? Can we? These 2 seem redundant.
Yeah, we can just remove number 2.
Yeah. Mhm.
Which one do you want me to remove?
Oh, number 2, the second bullet.
This one here?
Mhm.
Okay.
And then we probably
Okay.
don't need the word considerable inconsistency. We could just say inconsistency.
Yeah. Good call.
You don't have to say included either. That's both.
Right.
Okay. All right.
So this last paragraph basically duplicates a lot of what's in scope, but I'm not offended by it. I'm just saying it duplicates a lot of what's in scope. And we might want the
I think we
paragraph
can-
to be able
And
to-
also
Mhm.
kind of the mission as well.
Do you want to just delete the paragraph? Is that this proposal? Or do we need something here?
That's my. I would say delete it because I mean this would be something that could go into, and I think we're talking about procedures, metrics, and tooling,
Okay.
and in scope.
Any other feelings?
Yeah, I think if we just remove actually if we just relocate the first paragraphs to somewhere either in introduction or mission, this could be go.
Yeah, as the last paragraph of introduction, you could do it if you wanted.
Mhm.
It's a nice paragraph. It's very succinct of what we want to do, but
Mhm.
I don't
Well,
think we need it. But
it is redundant if you look over here, because having this paragraph and this paragraph in the same section is redundant.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
make this a little longer. So all right. So we're saying just keep
Just keep
Okay,
the first paragraph. The second paragraph can go away.
all right, that's where we are. All right, next we want to look at in scope. Can I delete this section?
Mhm.
Just for ease of reading. Okay. All right, let's get this down. Do we need to enumerate here?
All of my screen is frozen.
Yeah,
yeah, I lost your screen again, Marlon, for a second. It happened
Geez.
before, but it came back.
I see it on mine.
Yeah, it might just come back. Just talk to what you're looking at right now. Which sections you're talking about? The metric benchmark, the 5 bullets underneath.
Underneath the identify, define, and develop procedures.
Okay.
I don't think we need those bullets.
Let's see.
I can
So
stop
those-
sharing if I'm sharing again.
It's back now. So I think the content in the bullets makes some sense. If you don't want the nesting, we can do it. It was just kind of wordy before because we had the identify, define, develop procedures, metrics, tooling, and then we had that in front of all of these things before. So we had the same 5 bullets just with more text. If we can cut it down, great.
Yeah, let's just keep the top level.
Yeah, but the top level is enough, right? Because it encapsulates all of this.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think we were trying to be more clear, which is fancy, because define, develop procedures, metrics, tooling to improve environmental. I don't know if it's to. What do we mean by environmental sustainability factors? Like it's a very generic. The next level bullets are very clear, which is we're going to quantify energy consumption in a full stack software, right? Maybe the second bullet
Yeah.
we don't need. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, I guess where I'm going is this is a tag. So the enumerating exactly what we're going to do, I don't think belongs here necessarily, but being general does. Because we may choose to focus only on, I'm going to pick something random, recommendations only, right, for the first while. So we will define our scope as we go.
Maybe put, if you want to chop some bullets, pick like 2 of these and just say starting with, because we think we'll do it, but not limited to or something, just so people have an idea. Because otherwise it's too generic. Like you can't just say, I'm going to identify procedures and tools, because that doesn't mean anything either. Because
all right, how about including? I'm going to delete this one because it's generic. Is that okay?
Delete which one? Sorry, I can't.
Procedures and technologies.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
To me, the improve environmental sustainability factors sounds to me like environmental sustainability, like principles, not factors. Maybe we could change factors to principles, because in most texts you read like sustainability principles, but never factors. So maybe this just a wording.
I think we have a language difference, because in English here it's factors is more precise. To improve, how about carbon emissions?
It's not to improve emissions, right? We're trying to improve the. I mean, we are trying to improve the emissions, but I'm saying here we're trying to improve environmental sustainability, measurement, tracking, whatever the right word there is.
It's really resource management.
An approach. Yeah. I don't know if it's factors. I don't think it's
environmental sustainability approach. That was a good word.
Yeah, let's do that.
It's good. Yeah.
What do you think, Lemon? Rio?
Yeah, I like the idea.
Approaches.
Yeah,
is it plural?
Approaches. Yes, it is, because it's multiple. Yep.
Okay, we're down 1. I'm gonna say the screen efficiency scoring. We're already gonna be doing automations. Yeah. So I would suggest the first 2 bullets and leave the last 2 out.
Okay. So maybe you can also
agreed. Everyone.
Tooling, procedure. Okay. Yeah, I think the procedure.
Yeah, do that. But just one more thing. We have metrics in there twice now. So we have identified, define, and develop procedures metrics. And then in the next bullet point we have metrics again, which seems surplus.
We could just say benchmarks then.
Yes.
Either that, or just put benchmarks into the listing up top as well, and leave it out in the bullet point underneath.
Yeah.
So
just a quantification of energy consumption.
Like this?
Yes.
Yeah. That was my idea. But we, if we want to, we could make that list even longer. So we have procedures. What about processes? What about recommendations, best practices, guidelines, methodologies? Do we not care about them? Do we not explicitly want to lay them out here? Or
all right. So that's all true. Can we just remove this entire section and just say tooling?
I think so. Yeah, that was the underlying point that I was about to get to. But yeah, thank you.
Okay. Sorry, we have limited time. Make sense? Everyone else? This is my favorite part, by the way, so deleting stuff. Okay. Contributions to the CNCF, we should reduce to 2. This part I would claim is outside of our scope necessarily, because that should be part of the projects.
Second bullet.
Third one, integrate common tooling.
Okay. Yes.
Agreed?
Yeah, we're not necessarily. Yeah, we're not integrating things. We're suggesting people integrate things.
That would be a working
If
group
anything.
job. Yeah.
If anything.
Okay. Leo nodded. Enhance energy efficiency and reduce carbon footprint. So develop and evaluate. Yeah.
Enhance there is wrong because again, that suggests that we will be doing something. This is more providing recommendations.
So, okay, can I remove that and we'll reduce just the first 2 bullets?
I would remove it. Yeah.
This also sounds like a
I
working
agree.
group
Okay.
topic or something.
All right.
This is
we're
covered
out.
by the first one.
Yeah, also true. Okay. Do these 2 make sense? The first 2. Let's make sure. Because this is already encapsulated in.
I think
Sorry,
that we can combine that bullet point with the one above by just putting identify, define, and develop tooling to assess and subsequently improve environmental sustainability factors or approaches, including and then add a bullet point there for organizational, architecture, and technological maturity.
Good.
Architectural, I think technological and organizational. Those 3 kind of make sense. We don't need all of them, though.
All right, organizational. Sorry, let's start at organizational.
Which organization are we talking about when we say organizational?
I have the same question right now.
Can we just say technological, and architectural maturity?
Yeah,
I guess.
Okay.
I was
Now we
just
can
taking that from the bullet point that we are about to delete. Because
right.
it's so yeah.
Good. Delete.
Yes.
I'm fine with that.
All right. Evaluate architectures. I think this is covered now. We have architectural maturity here.
That's covered as well. Yeah, that's why I put the architectural in there as well. Or wanted to put it in there as well.
All right, community outreach.
I'm still,
sorry.
let me ask you a question. I'm still confused. So if I read this, because bullet point should follow, identify, define, and develop tooling to, I missed the 2, to assess and improve environmental sustainability approaches, technological and architectural maturity. We're missing some context there. Whereas, like, if I read it and saying including quantification of energy consumption of full stack software, including application, that would make sense. Same thing with the second bullet. This third bullet doesn't read right somehow. There's missing context. Items to
including
evaluate.
items to evaluate technology.
Well, and I still don't know if it's mature. I mean, if it's maturity, you know, maybe what is the point of this?
Technological and architectural.
Well,
it's not maturity. It's like soundness.
Okay.
Okay, soundness I can get on board with.
We need a better word. That's a crappy word.
Yeah.
Or maybe just health. Architectural
Thank
health.
you.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the maturity sounds like you have to be old, or you have to be
That's
old
me.
school. No, oh my gosh, no.
Okay.
So read right. Identify, define, and develop tooling to assess and improve environmental sustainability approaches, including items to evaluate technological and architectural health of what?
Of sustainability.
But you're not evaluating sustainability. We're evaluating something. We're providing ways to evaluate something. In the first bullet, it's the quantification of a full stack software. We're evaluating software. The second one, we're doing recommendations for software. The third one is we're items to evaluate technological and architectural health of what. If it's software, we should say software. If it's a project, we should say project. If it's hardware, we should say hardware.
I would say projects.
I would say project as well.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Kenny. All right.
I'm okay with that.
All right. And then, all right, now we're in collaboration. Community outreach on any items within scope, for instance, blogs, blah, 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 meetups, etc. Makes sense to me. Collaborate with existing efforts, especially from the standpoint of cloud native. Are we already doing that with the community outreach? The one above. Are these redundant?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's redundant.
Okay. This is good though. We had a whole wish list, and now we're making sure we address everything in the cutting.
I think
This
if we
piece.
oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry. No,
I
before I
think
move
if
on.
we do some clever rearranging of words again, we can put the greenwashing into the one above as well, into the tooling, because we want tooling to detect and avoid greenwashing. So assess and improve isn't really the right wording here, but maybe we can come up with a clever solution.
Yeah, we also talked about just removing the greenwashing aspect of it.
Entirely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you
Completely.
have the word in
I think
there,
it's a nice thing to
emotionally
have, and
charged.
yeah, if we want to keep it, I think it could be merged somehow. I don't have a clue wording it from the top of my head, but
To me, greenwashing is basically adverse to sustainability. So it's redundant to me. And
Yeah.
Tony's right, it is emotionally a trigger to some companies.
Yeah, I think we don't want to say we're going to try to identify where you're doing things wrong. We're just saying we're providing ways to measure. We're not making judgments necessarily. We provide the measurements or the tools to measure, and let the other people judge. It's not for us to judge them.
Yeah, greenwashing is cases where people are misusing the tooling, which we can call out you're misusing the tooling without explicitly using words.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, fair.
Thoughts, Leo? I know your camp cares a lot about greenwashing.
Yeah, no, I think, I mean, it's an important topic, but I think just like providing the principles and ideas to judge from, like, that somebody else can judge later on. I think this is the way to go. I think we are not in a position to, I don't know, point fingers at any project or whatever. So I'm not sure if it's needed to explicitly write greenwashing in the proposal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm going to remove it. Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Yep.
Sounds good.
All right. Out of scope. Let's make sure we have everything we want in here for fear. I'm terrified of this. Form an umbrella organization beyond the CNCF. All right. Establish a compliance and standards body beyond the CNCF.
Wait 1 second. I think the collaboration with other organizations, efforts, foundations, shouldn't that be in scope as well? Because we have community outreach, but that's a different thing. But like, I think that could be discussed.
How about collaboration with other groups?
It could even be its own bullet point, if you ask me, because I think it's fundamentally different to collaborate and to and community outreach are.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Or maybe even form partnerships. Collaboration.
Yeah,
form
that's the
partnerships.
fundamental idea behind it, I think.
Partnerships are more, this may worry people because we don't necessarily want to be aligned strongly. Collaboration is a soft word.
What about efforts instead of groups?
Yeah.
Partnership sounds like that you have a contract between two parties, or what do you think is the?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. The collaboration is gentler. Can we stick with collaboration?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not as binding.
There we go. All right. Is there anything else in scope before I move on?
Waman had his hand up.
Now I just saying the partnership sounds like too formal. There's agreements need to
Legal
be signed
definition.
upon.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we've been told by legal don't use the word partnership.
Have we? That's good to know.
Yes, I will tell you if you're curious later.
Yeah, we'll have a conversation later. All right. All right, out of scope. Let's make sure this is what we want. Umbrella organizations, we don't want to do that, right? Establish a compliance and standards body beyond the CNCF. Do we want to say beyond CNCF technologies?
No. Cloud native
Is that-
space, maybe. No.
Yes, maybe space. That was,
Is beyond the
And also the first one is, I mean, is this not like implicit? That, I mean, no tag can create like an umbrella organization beyond the CNCF. Do
yeah,
we need to explicitly point this out?
the
Or-
reason I had put this in there is because this is also in other people's
Okay.
scopes, and I wanted to make sure we were explicit in the same way they were. Like
Mhm.
the sustainability has we're not working outside the CNCF.
Yep.
It's security group.
Okay.
Yeah. Evaluate individual company infrastructures. That's for companies to do.
Yeah.
Focus outside of cloud native technologies. Okay, is this one and this one, are they? No,
Yeah,
that's
they are
fine.
redundant.
That's fine.
And also
All right.
one question about projects under the CNCF. Do we want to choose our own like investigations? So, for example, one project is maybe very interesting for a sustainability point of view. So we proactively from our side contact them, but they don't like. There's no obligation that we have to investigate every project. We can basically pick the projects, and maybe, I mean, is this also something that we want to write down somewhere, that we basically choose projects or investigations and so on? Or
So negative sourcing, or how do you want to say that?
It's within our sourcing abilities, right? So I would assume that's implicit.
because I'm just
Because-
worried that like that we are working, we're investigating like 5 projects, and there are 5 projects more that say we need investigation of sustainability, and we feel pressured and do not do our work well or something. I don't know.
How about note that we have limited resources, so may not be able to address.
Yeah. We address projects in reasonable time or something, you know. I don't know.
yeah.
Say every project.
Yeah, but that's
So-
not really a scope thing, right? That's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
a resource thing.
Can I just say here, just like as a note down here?
Okay, sure.
All right. Anything else we want to address in out of scope?
Or maybe this is in
Amalo,
or something.
sorry, I just noticed that in scope you have a slash on the second last bullet. And do I want to finish the sentence or just?
I'll let it up,
Yeah,
etc.
good call.
Yeah, thank you for that.
And then Leo was saying maybe, right? Leo, you were going to say maybe this note goes in scope because of the limited
Yeah.
resources. That makes sense. I think that makes more sense.
All right. All right. Can I delete this section here? It's no longer under consideration.
Yes.
Deliverables, framework document. We still need to go through comments quickly. Landscape document makes sense. Recommendations.
So deliverables to the TOC, this reads like these are projects. So we have one project writing a framework document or keeping it up to date and providing it to the TOC. How is the process? So the TOC requests from us basically these deliverables every meeting, or no, every meeting?
Periodically. So the landscape docs, if you look at what security does, that's a yearly. I would argue these two are the same thing, really. So I would actually delete this and stick with the landscape doc.
Yeah, I like landscape doc better than framework doc.
Okay, can I delete?
Yes.
Recommendations.
Should maybe
These two are
one idea is
Go ahead, sorry.
that we create maybe a yearly report or something like this, and in this report we point out recommendations and more things. So we have maybe just a few documents that we can focus on. So maybe one big one at the end of the year or something, and then maybe a landscape document as well, and so on, so that we can focus our attention on just 2 or 3 documents and not on 6.
Yeah, so I let's get the number down, and then cadence I think we can figure out after we start, because it may be obvious that certain ones need regular updates.
Yeah, agree.
These two to me looks kind of the same. Recommendations, both of those look the same to me.
I think your screen froze again, or is it just me?
It did freeze again.
Okay,
they're
two,
not quite redundant, but they're very close.
yeah.
I feel like the recommended for new CNCF projects is more actionable.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go with the second bullet, maybe. So delete the sandbox projects bullet is what we're looking.
Yeah.
Oh, your screen came back. Sorry, I'm on my phone, so it's hard to see. Yeah.
All right.
Always better.
Okay. All right. Recommendations is down to 1. Scheduled regular reporting. I think this is just part of the recommendations.
So one thing. So the recommendation point you just deleted. One idea that I read out of it was, so if there's a new project on the table of the TOC and they are trying to figure out if this is a project they want to accept as a sandbox project, maybe they could, if they have like some concerns, sustainability concerns, they could reach out and ask for input. I don't know if this is a deliverable, or, I mean, they can always reach out, obviously. So I don't know.
think,
well, we could always combine it too, where it's recommendations for new CNCF projects, where there are clear use cases or where exploration is needed. I think, yeah, because I agree with the exploration piece. That, yeah, that's almost like
that makes
a
sense.
pre-use case.
right?
Does that work for you, Leo?
Yep.
Scheduled regular reporting to TOC on ongoing completed work.
Scheduled is scheduled.
I don't like scheduled, yeah.
You're just regular. Just maybe nix it.
And do we report on our status, or does the TOC?
We report on our status to the
Okay.
TOC, but I think the first two is just what we report. So this looks confusing to me.
I'm wondering if that reporting on carbon, either on the carbon and energy savings, if that's like a sub bullet to the reporting, or it's just removed and then.
So for example, if we have a project to investigate Kubernetes or whatever, and then we do a report of our ongoing and completed work, this would then also report on, for example, the second point, right? So reporting on carbon energy saving metrics and so on. So if we investigate Kubernetes, we would then give an update on our ongoing investigation, and with this update we would report on carbon and energy. So maybe it's implicit, kind of. I don't know. I think we could delete the reporting on carbon and energy saving metrics measurements. Maybe.
Just delete this. I'm
Yeah,
for
the only
that.
thing that's interesting in that big bullet is summarizing external power related research reviews and additional information, but maybe that goes in the landscape
Mhm.
document because we only do it once a
Yeah.
year. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Okay. Deleting.
Do we have that documented somewhere though? Because I don't
We-
want to forget that.
Just put it up in the first bullet, the summarizing external, if you want it.
I just didn't know if we had like a parking lot doc or.
We have. We already have a landscape doc that we've started.
Okay.
But we can say including. I don't know.
Yeah, and we don't have to if we think it's obvious. We don't need that section, right? The only reason to have it included is if it's not clear. I mean, I think
Mhm.
anything related to power research, relevant and additional relevant information doesn't mean anything. So really, it's only the saying, "Hey, we're going to include external power related research," but that makes sense under landscape because that's what a landscape is. So maybe we can just delete it.
Also, the question is, what should the TOC do with the information? So if we give them information, there's like something going on. I don't know. Yeah.
Yes. So they.
I mean, it's interesting, but the question is, what happens?
Right. What's actionable
Or
out of it?
sandbox and graduation projects. That's what we're going to do. Is we recommend projects. They graduate and add them to the sandbox.
Yeah.
Does that help?
That seems right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This I don't think we need.
Is that the health checks one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's not TOC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That looks nice. I like this now. What are comments on it? Oh. I don't care. I don't care today. All right, audiences. We have that. I like those. Any issues?
Hi. I just proposal. I don't see an issue there. Absolutely not. Just maybe emphasize the fact that some of the audiences could be legal for some companies, because we are seeing some requirements to disclose carbon emissions and so on.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be nervous about adding legal in here because I don't want to be on the hook legally for anybody's issues.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Maybe it's so it's end users, but maybe it's also people that are it's almost like people from the business that are curious or questioning or looking for information. I don't know how you put that, but so audiences, end users, developers,
Interested
and
parties, relevant stakeholders, all these. I don't
yeah.
know, whichever one you want. Standard boilerplate.
Holders.
I like stakeholders, yeah.
All right. Can I delete this issue of the landscape? I'm not sure why that's
Yeah.
here.
I think we can keep the execution and focus, and the rest of the sections based on the areas analysis, TOC analysis, they are not quite aligned with the TOC.
Yeah, I would like to remove alignments. I had concerns on this because this to me looks like a project.
Mm-hmm. And it has partnership in it too.
Yeah. Is
And
that
also,
okay?
and also the rest of the documents.
Mhm.
We can keep the
Mhm.
contributors over there, but rest of the document seems like not in the TOC template.
We need the TOC license and co-chairs, I think. I wanted that as part. Let me remove alignments so we can discuss the rest. Can I remove alignments?
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
That's fine.
Yeah, because they want to know what our governance is, just to make sure that we're following their processes.
So should we put governance then instead of roles and responsibilities? I don't know. It's kind of the same thing.
It's the same, because governance
fine.
is also a larger
Yeah,
talk,
it means
right?
more. Okay, fair.
We want the acknowledgement. We want the contributors. Is everyone who's here, name here, because this is the thing I do everything. Is seeing you're not in here.
I don't think I'm in there.
Let me add you.
That would be very kind.
How do I? I'm sorry. I just know you as Joe Chen.
Yeah, I'm gonna write it in the chat. That's my full name.
Okay, got it.
Thank you very much.
I want to make sure everyone is credited. Do I have everyone else? Tony, Meg Ming.
Yeah, that is
I'm sending the same.
just about
It's
Frederick.
already there. Thank you.
Okay, you're here.
Oh, she's already there.
Oh.
Yeah, just she's above of Frederick.
Yeah, that's
Oh, I see. Kanji. Okay, we go by Meg because people are English. Okay. All right. Do we? To your point, do you want to delete this? This is standard. You're right. The roles and responsibilities. Do we want to delete this section?
I see.
Yeah, if it's standard, then I don't think it's necessary.
Okay. Same for technical committee.
Is this something that the other proposals don't have or do have, or?
Let me.
Let's go look at two of them. I mean, you linked two of them here. Let's click on. Yeah, it looks like I don't have them.
Oh, this is the old one. Are you looking already, Tony? Do they not have them?
So the environmental work group one doesn't, but that's a work group one. I'm pulling up the tag security one now.
They don't have it.
Yeah, they don't have it.
All right, can we delete them?
Yeah, I mean, we can have a separate document. It doesn't belong here, but we can have a governance document. Like tag security says there is a scope of group activities and there's a governance process which they link, but it's a separate set of documents.
Okay, we have 5 minutes left. I'm going to make sure we've addressed all this. I think this is me. This was also all parties. I think this was on an old doc.
There's one more comment because of the Twitter. Do we want to be vendor agnostic here and say social media posts?
That's probably fair.
Yeah.
And then we can probably condense that list down because, yeah, it's quite long. Just a few examples should be sufficient.
Yeah. All right. Let's delete this.
There's one section in the tag security charter doc which basically just links to the TOC and to the README for more details and so on, maybe.
Okay.
This is nice.
Deliverables. Hold on. I need to find the other thing. Community. Social media. We were just going to say social media. So blogs and Twitter are social media.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Anybody getting on Trump's Truth Social to go?
Don't start. Don't start. Okay. Initial doc. All right. So what did you want to add? So we had a reference on the other one you said.
In the chat, there's Wait one
Yeah.
second. Operations, which just links to the TUC, and then also to the governance README. We don't have the governance README yet, but maybe. I don't know. I think
let's.
that's not bad.
Yeah. Okay. Let's leave the governance out because we don't have it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And they said we can modify this later. Is there a link in there? Because you just pasted the text. There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good.
It's from here.
I think. Did I do that correctly? Is there another thing I'm supposed to link? That's the tax security. We should link to them because we did reference them.
Is this the last meeting
Yes.
before completing this document?
Yep.
Nice. Finally
Yes.
done.
So my hope is we give a day from here, we give a day for people to comment, and then we close the HackMD and require people to make PRs. That was our agreement before.
Good.
Yep.
So would someone like to send an update to the mailing list to please review? I'm going to remove this collaboration because we don't need to mark sections anymore.
I can do that.
Okay, thank you, Kara.
Mhm.
I'm going to push before anything happens to this doc.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yay! Final push.
Push.
It's like labor.
Hit the save button. All right, we are pushed. All right, thank you guys for coming. I'll also get uploads of the working meetings. I was out last week on me, and so I didn't get them up.
Cool, thank you. Just a question, please, regarding the PRs to make sure I understand. So what's required regarding the PRs after comments tomorrow, please?
You submit a PR to the repo.
Okay, but with additional content to this, just to make sure I understand you, please.
We do not add additional content to the HackMD. It'll have to go through the repo so that it's all public. Any new changes, because we have agreement, need to go through the GitHub. This was a recommendation from Jim's.
Sure. And what's the content of the PR that we need to push? Just like empty PR?
What do you mean? What's the content? So what I do need to do, I think, is I need to open a new. I need to fork their talk, and then add this doc as is, and then any PRs should go through that, because the PR we ultimately submit is what we should be basing on.
All right.
So this isn't even the right location. So I need to do that in the next. I'll do that in a couple of hours. I have to run in a minute.
So we can. So for the next day, it's commenting on the HackMD, and then it's PRs, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah.
What's the resolution if people have a comment? How are we resolving those comments before we switch over?
You're right. We should just do PRs.
Okay.
So I guess, Kara, if you can hold off until I make the new repo with the current. Thank you. Thank you, Leo.
Yeah. Just let me know, and I will.
Let me
send it
make
out.
the new repo. I'll do that in a couple of hours. I have to take a kid to a thing. But after that, I'll make the new repo with this doc in it and as is, and people can make PRs to that.
Sounds good.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, everyone. This was really good. It
Thanks all.
was really useful.
Bye.
All right.
So much shorter.
And concise.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.